Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out Near Protocol's price chart, and I'm going to tell you why, despite the recent move on the downside, there is actually still some hope in Near, and we should get, if we are truly bullish in the short term, a bounce back starting from the current point anytime by now. So, are you ready? Let's dive in and see what is going on. And if you remember the last time that we talked about Near Protocol, we were actually around here, and the idea was that in 30-minute time frame, let's actually go on this time frame. There we go. We are having a bit of a head and shoulder structure, so odds are you are going to see a move on the downside. But I remember specifically I said this seems to be a 1 2 3 4 5, so maybe on a higher degree this is gonna be an A leg followed by that we are going to get a move down, but maybe that's going to be into wave B, and guess what, the next move is going to be another one up into our C leg, but that will probably be it. Generally a correction structure and not an impulse, and since in here we are having a beautiful looking 5-wave down, then okay, maybe we are having in here an A, B, and what's next? Yep, another move down into our C leg, or maybe this is 1, this is 2, and the next move is going to be a kind of a big one down into wave 3 and 4 and 5. One way or the other, we said, sure, we can expect another move up in order to take the highs, but it may not be necessarily an optimistic side. So what happened? Generally, what we said, I'm going to argue, is playing out right now, meaning we are getting a move on the downside. However, as you can see, we didn't definitely get this move up, so I would like to apologize for that. Now, why did I say at the beginning of the video that there might be still some hope in your protocol? You see, I have a couple of reasons for that. Number one, I'm not really sure if you are a fan of classic patterns, but if you are, I guess you can argue this is a beautiful looking wedge, and here are the lines for it. This is the lower line, and this can be the upper line right in here. Now, pay attention, this is very important. This pattern at the moment is not confirmed yet. When will it get confirmed? When we get a break of the upper line, followed by that we do a pullback above it, and then we get a continuation of the move up in order to take this important high. If we do this, fair enough, we are looking good, and we can at that point maybe count on some more upward price action, assuming that in terms of Elliott Waves, I'm able to find all the right subwaves. So this is the first important thing that I wanted to talk to you about in order to cheer you up a bit. Now, the second thing comes down to Elliott Waves actually, and the fact that if I just hide everything, as you can see, we still haven't taken the lows down here about $2.3. And why is this low so important? Because if you want to argue that we're gonna have our final low around here, maybe this is like a very important support, then okay, you have to be able to find off of the lowest low in this area a 5-wave on the upside. This specific example is called an impulsive structure. Rules for it are we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5-wave, or wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And in terms of the subwaves, you know what's going on. 5-wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5, and for wave 2 and 4 we are allowed to consider different counts. Let's say sure WXY into wave 2, and yeah, okay, an ABC structure into wave 4. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. And as long as in here we are not taking the lows, I'm able to tell you maybe on a higher degree this is 1 2 3 4 5, a beautiful one into a wave 1, followed by that a correction for wave 2, and let's get a very strong move on the upside into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And this scenario can be in play as long as, again, we are not taking the lows. Now, here's a question. What if we do go down and we do take all the lows in here? At that point, we need to change some waves, and first things first, under any kind of circumstances, we really cannot consider this 1-2 scenario anymore. And I think we have to say, let's go on H4 time frame, that in here we are having, starting from the lowest low about $1.8, a 1 2 wave 3 to about this point, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. And since if I just hide everything, as you can see in this phase, by like a very small margin, we didn't take the highs. We're gonna say this is a truncated wave 5, and I know truncated waves are quite rare, but pay attention, these are still possible. Okay, So let's have a quick conclusion. If in here we do go down once more and take this point about $2.3, at that point we're gonna say this is 1 2 3 4 5, followed by that we are having a correction as structure, and then okay, on a higher degree this still can be considered as a 1 2 and what's next, a strong move up into wave 3 4 5. It's just the fact that in the short term at that point our move down is going to continue, and also the recovery phase is going to take some time. And for example, in this area I expect near to do something like this if we are truly bullish, maybe get a quick bounce, a 5 wave up, followed by that a very slow and choppy move down, and this might take, I don't know, let's say like 3 to even 4 5 weeks. So for now, let's be optimistic as long as we are not proven otherwise. And finally, let me talk to you about a very important sign in terms of indicators that you need to pay full attention to it if you want to be optimistic in here. So pay attention. This is a low. The other one is a lower low. Another one in here is a lower low on the live chart. But in MACD, what do we have? Not here, but this one right in here is a low. The other one is a higher low, and right now at least seems like that we are on track to have a higher low, meaning this is actually a beautiful looking bullish divergence. Now if you want to be optimistic in here, then okay, you can say because of this bullish divergence we're gonna get a very strong bounce back, and you know what, more power to you, fair enough. But I think at the moment we need to also consider a bearish scenario in order for us to remain 100% objective. So I'm gonna say what you do not want to see in here is actually a move down in the short term in order to get a break of this unbelievably important divergence line. Why? Because the moment that we do that, number one, the bullish divergence itself is going to get invalidated and you cannot actually count on a move up anymore. And number two, as a result of the break of the divergence line, you need to actually at that point count on a rather sharp and strong move down on the live chart, maybe like another 10 to even 15% move. So in here, as long as we are not, number one, getting a break of this divergence line, and number two, we are not taking the lows, we are allowed to be optimistic. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in here. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.